Have you had your prostate checked out lately?
You know, I need to do that.
Do you really?
I really need to do that. I think. I don't know what age do you have to do that.
I don't know. Do you have to have it? I would like
I think you do. I think you got to do the finger thing.
Oh, is that still a thing?
I think it's still a thing, man.
Isn't there an app?
You don't want to put your phone up in that?
No, I'm saying like wireless HDMI. Maybe there's a wireless prostate checker.
Prostate check.
Where nobody has to put their finger in my butt.
I thought you meant the phone, some sort of vibrate functionality. I don't know.
I think I saw something like that at CES, like in a side hall where they keep all the weird shit. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Canada.
Hi, Anthony Carboni. Speaking of weird shit.
Yeah.
Guess what was discovered up in Antarctica?
Ice.
Yes.
Snow.
Well, I guess we don't have to talk about this story.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Within the ice.
The Fantastic Four is the thing.
They have discovered the largest penguin species ever. It's a fossil of bones.
I was like, wait, a living penguin?
He's not just chilling, but he's enormous.
All
6'8".
What?
6'8", and they estimate the bird probably would have weighed about 250 pounds. So this is almost exactly the size of LeBron James pre his weight loss. He just lost a lot of weight.
LeBron James the penguin.
It's LeBron James penguin. Basically, It's Disney Channel's wet dream. Space Jam 2, you're welcome.
Number one, thanks Zachary on Twitter for sending this in. Number two, I love that this just fits into that 1950s, we don't know much about the past view of the past, where it's just like, no, the world was the same, but everything was giant and had sharper teeth.
Why is that? Why did everything used to be big?
It was just bigger. We found one big bone, and so we were like, oh, that's big bone. Everything must be bigger.
That's proving to be true. I think that they're finding more and more, penguins be big.
Yeah.
Reptiles be big. There's some big stuff back in the day. And in our continuing quest on We Have Concerns to talk about the largest version of things, we had to talk about this.
6'8" penguin. I would ride it to school.
Is this the most adorable of the giant animals?
Oh, man, that's a great question.
Was there a giant koala bear?
I've always thought that mammoths were really adorable, though.
Are they? The tusks are a little aggressive.
I mean, a narwhal has a tusk, and it's a magical, wonderful creature.
But look at the penguin. He doesn't have any. He's not threatening you.
Show me this. Well, do they have a picture of what this penguin? That's just a regular ass penguin.
No, they took a penguin and they just went into Photoshop and went a free transform and just dragged it larger.
They put a penguin just into the middle of Tokyo for the picture in this article, and they just dragged it out big. But here's the thing. We like to think that everything was just bigger and bigger and bigger, but there were also small mammals, there were tiny insects, there was just as much small stuff going on as there was big stuff.
Yeah.
Why are we not super impressed by all the different tiny small stuff that was going on in the past?
Because big is more impressive.
Okay.
It's just inherently, what would you rather fight? One Colossus penguin-sized penguin or 100 penguin-sized penguins?
That's a confusing form of scale to use. I would fight all of them. I would fight all 101.
Just because you love long, drawn-out battles.
Well, because number one, I think it would be pretty epic. Number two, I don't think penguins are going to put up much of a fight. I just don't think they can on land.
No, they're little flipper arms.
Yeah.
Maybe they could peck you.
They could peck me, and I would imagine they'd get a good few pecks in.
Yeah.
But in this battle, they are kind of like those annoying little gnats where the boss is like in the center, and it's like, well, I got to clean these guys out before the boss starts his next pattern. I feel like my question to you is, how many penguin-sized penguins out of the 100? Let's imagine you're in a God of War style arena, right?
Oh,
so it's
I imagine this all the time.
Right, so it's like a round platform, right? And in the center of this round platform...
Is it ice? Do I slide if I stop running?
Let's assume that there's snow. It's probably not as slippery as you're picturing, but there's snow. There's snow on the ground, right? And then in the center is the giant penguin, the colossal LeBron James of penguins.
Yep.
And then there are 100 other penguins running around.
Cheering him on?
Yeah, no, they're active. They're in the arena. How many of these regular penguins could you take out before King Penguin got to you? Keep in mind, King Penguin is still waddling and stuff like that.
I would imagine that I could just throw something at the penguins and knock them over like bowling pins. That's what I'm assuming. Because cartoons. Yeah. Because they look like bowling pins, and I'm assuming that... And it would be like the strike sound would happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking a lot.
But then like something would reset them though.
Oh, that's rough.
Because if you go with one cartoon analogy, you got to take it all the way through.
Do you think colossal size penguin?
If I kicked a regular penguin, like as hard as I could, it would go right down, wouldn't it?
I would think so.
Like I'm wearing snowshoes, boots.
Oh, you're wearing the like tennis racket on your feet?
No, not like cartoon snowshoes. You're going way too Warner Brothers.
That's only way I grew up in California. That's all I know about snow is from cartoons.
You've never been to the zoo and seen a penguin? Think about a penguin.
Oh yeah, okay.
You think about a penguin, it's like maybe a little higher than shin high, like maybe up mid thigh on you.
Which is why LeBron
if it's a
so
sexy
crazy.
penguin, maybe it's working its way up a little higher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, go for it, penguin. Wear that tuxedo.
So you've got 100 of those, but if you kicked one with a snow boot, would it just fall right over?
I think it would slide. Have you seen them run and slide into the water?
Doing this. They don't just naturally automatically slide.
They're slippery. They have like slick fronts and backs.
But if you kick it over, it doesn't just slide.
I would think it would.
You think it's like a cat? It always lands on its belly?
It always lands on its sliding surface.
So then these 100 penguins are a little harder to take out than I initially imagined.
Well, yeah. I mean, but here's my question to you. Is Colossus-sized penguin, does he walk at a regular penguin rate, or is he faster due to his size?
Well, he's faster because he has a
larger gait?
Yeah, he has a wider gait.
Does he? Because penguins, they have a little flippy, it's like they waddle.
Sure, but then you have to scale him up,
all right?
So
each
his
waddle,
step, the waddle goes a little bit farther.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he really probably could dunk like LeBron.
How high can they jump? That's another thing that we're going to need to know if we're going to fight these penguins. How high can a penguin jump? Because I'm not worried about if I'm wearing snow clothing, which I imagine I am.
Well, you'd have to.
It's kind of thick. I mean, it's not thick enough where the pecs aren't going to like get in there. You know what I mean? They're going to hurt.
Yeah. But you're talking about your pecs or the pecs?
My pecs are definitely going to get in there and hurt. I'm gonna put a hurt on some penguins. I don't know if you saw. I just got a pull-up bar from Amazon, so I feel like I'm doing pretty. Like I bought it, I haven't used it yet.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to fight these penguins without training.
But what I'm saying is, I'm gonna fight them with the pull-up bar because I tried to put it together. And
it's more of a weapon than anything else. It
seemed easy. Like you were like, oh, it's 4 pieces. That's really. I don't know if I'm just dumber than I thought or if these instructions are just bad, but basically what I have is either a baton or 2 sort of scythe or tonfa-esque, curved.
That's useful in this situation.
Curved bars.
At least you're not in
I don't know why I brought them to Antarctica with me, probably to throw them into the sea because I'm so frustrated that I can't put it together. But so I have those and I have these thick snow pants, but I'm wondering if a penguin can jump up and peck me in my eye, dude.
Or
in my
throat. Would lean down. The 6'8" one would lean down to peck you in your eye.
What's a penguin tooth like?
They have teeth. They're beaks.
They gotta have little. Because
beaks have teeth. I don't think beaks and teeth go together.
Sure, they have little ridgy bits inside. They don't have like mammalian teeth, but like they've got structures for chewing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
chewing your face off is what you're referring to.
That's what I'm asking about. Yeah. Like. Can they get up there? Because here's the thing, man.
Enough of them. Do you know what they probably do? They probably stand on each other's shoulders.
God damn it. They'd put on a trench coat.
Yeah. And then you just think you're talking to some regular guy.
I imagine a 6'8" penguin. What do you think the gullet circumference is? It's not swallowing you whole.
Oh, no. No, it has to use its potentially having teeth.
But it's definitely swallowing an entire arm.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll get your arm down. That's for sure. It's sad to me that there's an entire species of bird that can't fly and was also 6'8" at one point. Like, what is that? That is a cartoon character.
It's sad to me that the first thing anybody thinks about whenever a new animal is discovered is, could I take it in a fight? Well, we didn't even. Did you notice we didn't even question that? The first thing we went into is, hey, you think you could take this thing? Hey, if you had to fight this thing, you think you could? How much you bench? How much you putting up? But no, why is that the thing?
Because we are at the top of the food chain and got to stay there, bruh. I mean, if you think about dinosaurs, you don't go, hey man, if we made a park where dinosaurs came about, we would all live in harmony and have fun. No, if we made a park, they would turn on us and we would have to destroy them. Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's Jurassic Park.
I was referencing Jurassic Park.
But we have animals and we have lions in zoos.
Right.
We have animals in zoos. We're fine with it. We have gorillas in zoos, and they very rarely tear arms off and beat us to death with them.
Sometimes, though.
Sometimes, but very rarely. I would say the number of gorillas that we have to the number of times a gorilla has ripped off an arm and beaten somebody with it, that's a pretty good ratio for what's going on. It's
still too many.
You're just one of those perfectionists.
If we can't shoot for an ideal,
look, man,
with regard to the
you've got to compromise a little bit on how many people are going to be beaten to death with arms in their lives.
Do I?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Can't make an omelet, huh?
Yeah,
without
exactly.
breaking some arms off and beating people with
it. But no, we are never like, oh, this new bear was discovered, and we never knew this bear was. You think you could fight it? It wasn't. It's never like. It's never like, oh, I wonder what that bear's life is like. I wonder what this bear's daily routine is like in comparison to the routine of a brown bear.
Well, to be fair,
why don't I know more about brown bears? Oh, because I'm too busy wondering if I could beat the crap out of them.
To be fair, Anthony, your first inclination was to ride it around like a mount. That was your first go-to.
That's a symbiotic relationship.
No, I'm giving you credit here. I'm saying you did not want to fight it.
I just wanted to
subjugate it and ride it around in triumph, fighting other things.
Carrying my war banner against a bunch of dudes riding sea otters.
How come we get the sea otters? This sucks.
Look, man, they still slide.
They don't slide as fast.
We can build dams with them. Is that otters?
Is that
the sales?
I think you're thinking of beavers, man.
Oh, dude, the salesman told me that we could build dams.
No.
Oh, these are the ones that float on their backs and hold hands.
Yeah, that's why it's so hard to ride them.
These are terrible for battle. I am way sorry, Dave.
I tried riding him. He rolled over on his back, and I got wet, man. It sucks.
We are totally going to get our asses handed to us by these penguin guys. New plan. How many of these penguins do you think you can fight?
100 at least.
I just want to know why that's my everybody's first inclination. You know, I think
we're a violent species.
I think it's directly related to the cuteness of the animal.
That you want to beat it up?
No. I'm saying whenever they discover like a new adorable species, everyone's like, "Can I have it as a pet?"
Right.
If it's
do they just discover a new adorable species a lot?
There was one like 6 months ago that I think was in the lemur family that they found. That was
lemurs are not adorable,
dude. Lemurs are pretty fucking adorable. Yeah, man.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Oh, dude, specific kinds.
Lemur's
of
like
lemurs.
a monkey.
Yeah, it's like, but it's got the fingers and like big eyes and kind of like a raccoony face.
Oh, I am falling in love with that description.
Right? And I didn't even show it to you, but you want it as a pet. We either want animals as pets or we want animals to kill. There's no like, I want this animal to live a long and healthy life. Look at that animal having fun. Have fun, animal. Enjoy your place on this earth as I enjoy mine.
Well,
nope.
No,
that's not us.
We don't do that.
Why don't we do that?
You know, I once was at a bachelor party where we got into a large drunken fight about...
Just to be sure, if you're about to say that you accidentally gave drugs to a donkey, you're remembering the movie Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks. You were not actually
Was there like a hot dog penis thing that happened?
I think so.
Still in the movie?
Still in the movie.
Okay. Well,
Kids, ask your parents what Tom Hanks did before he was an Oscar winner.
He was the man with one red shoe. We got into this big drunken argument about what was the cuter animal, a koala or a panda bear. Because that's what I do on
Boy,
Bachelor
you guys
parties.
go out and get rowdy.
We get crazy. But I want to know where you stand on this.
The answer is, once you see them both in person,
yeah,
and especially if you've ever seen a wet koala, a wet koala is a nightmare beast from beyond the stars.
I agree. Panda
all the way.
Panda.
Here's the thing.
Because koala has claws that can rip your face off.
They're not nice.
No.
Here's the thing. If you grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, you're probably thinking about The Adventures of the Little Koala. You're thinking about Noozles. You're thinking about Mapletown. There was a lot of koala-based animation, which I think does not sit in the conscious forefront of our minds. Like, they're not the most memorable cartoons, but I think we were conditioned throughout the 80s and 90s to believe that koalas are adorable and they got problems just like us. They will fucking rip your face off.
What if you got some bamboo that they want?
And have you ever heard them make noises? It's not cool.
I saw bamboos for real. Or bamboos. I saw koalas for real.
I saw bamboos. There's no big deal.
I saw them in Australia.
Yeah.
And when they eat, they look so passive and adorable.
Sure.
But when they ain't eating, they're looking for something to eat.
Yeah.
And they could maybe eat you. That's all I'm saying.
They're terrible. They're terrible creatures. But I think the panda, even though the panda could just tear you in half.
Why would he want to? Look at him.
You got to really piss a panda off. Because they're chilling. Koala is much more mobile.
They're so docile that they don't even know how to have sex unless they watch someone do it.
They don't even want to.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the chubby kid in the teen sex comedy. who's literally just there to be hilarious and adorable. Like, they have no other purpose.
He's not interested in the ladies.
He's not getting laid. Like, if one of the girls at camp comes onto him, he doesn't get it, and he just wants to, like,
his
have a beer.
catchphrase is, I'm asexual.
He's got a lot of presence of mind, this kid. That's a pretty well-educated kid, actually, to know himself that much in a teen summer sex comedy.
Well, they're very meta these days.
It was at a Mensa camp where they send all the genius kids to party.
That is a terrible movie that you're describing.
Or maybe it's a great movie.
Mensa Camp, coming summer 2015.
Hey, everybody. Tonight, we're going to sneak out of the cabin, and we're going to figure out how to make this figure with just 7 matchsticks.
Oh, man. I got 99 logic problems, but a bitch ain't one.
Who is that? Is he supposed to be a cool guy?
He's the coolest.
He's the cool guy at Mensa Camp.
Of the Mensa Camp kids. There's always a cool one. There's always the cool one.
I do like that cool guy at Mensa Camp is quoting a song that's 10 years old.
That's all he knows.
That's all he knows.
That's all he knows.
Guys, I heard some hippie hops. You gotta listen to this hippie hops. No. Some people know music. They're cool.
Okay, so 6'8" animal of any kind. Mm-hmm. Are you going to pick penguin?
To fight?
Just to exist? To exist in the world?
What about to fight?
Yeah, you always want to go fight. To ride around on, to exist in the world. Are you going to pick? I think penguin is a great candidate to be 6'8".
Penguin's a good one. I like a northern squirrel or chipmunk, like the chubbier chipmunks.
Dude, that's terrifying.
No, that's great.
Oh, they carry disease, man. They carry disease.
Animals carry disease. Get ready. What you're basically doing by asking for any animal to be taken up to 6'8" is asking to have all of the disease that all animals carry
in one concentrated location
increased by 100 times. That's basically what you're asking.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. So maybe we don't. Maybe we just keep all the animals the way evolution made them, huh, everybody? What do you think? Although, if you were going to ride one giant version of an animal to school, guys, I would like to hear what it is. You can tweet us at @acarboni.
At Jeff Canada.
And if you have any ideas for stories that you want us to cover, like thanks, Zachary, for sending this in, you can send them in on Twitter, hashtag them WHC, just so we see them, or send them in via email at wehaveconcernshow@gmail.com.
And if you happen to be hanging around the iTunes, why not throw us a kindly review over there?
Leave a review that says, I believe in my heart that the hosts of this show could fight 101 penguins at once.
Of varying sizes.
Leave that review and 5 stars. Thank you. Bye.